This week on Fireside News, Taylor Swift just pulled off the ultimate flex, reclaiming the rights to her original albums and somehow competing against herself. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle tried to get Dolly Parton on her Netflix show, and Dolly's team's like, no, we're good. In movie news, George Romero's daughter is keeping the zombie genre alive, literally, with her new film, a drag rave zombie flick in Brooklyn called Queens of the Dead. And if you need faith in humanity restored, we'll talk about Mishka, a dog who went missing in Idaho 8 years ago and just turned up in California 600 miles away. Just a few of the big stories coming up today on this week's episode of Fireside News. Let's get it. So this week in tech has gone too far news. There's a growing group of people who think AI is basically divine. Not wow, it's cool divine, like actually deity divine. Some of these folks believe ChatGPT is a spiritual force. They're saying AI is channeling angels, giving life advice. And one guy predicts that by 2026, we'll have full-on AI churches with sermons led by Siri and confessions done through a smart speaker. Like I love gadgets too, but if your prayer ends with, "Hey Google, amen," you might need a hard reset. Florida man strikes again, this time with breakfast food. Cops say 74-year-old Richard Atkinson got into a full-on domestic throwdown with sausage and allegedly started shouting at a woman and hucked a sausage patty at her chest. That's not a euphemism. It's actually weaponized pork. So, she wasn't hurt, but Atkinson was arrested for battery. Yeah, I guess now we have a man doing time for assault with intent to sizzle. All right, here's one that won't make you lose faith in humanity. A dog named Mishka got reunited with her owner 8 years after going missing. She vanished from her home in Idaho back in 2016. Fast forward to this past week, she turned up 600 miles away in California. She got scanned for a microchip and boom, reunion. And moral of the story, microchip your pets. It's smart. And also, never give up hope, especially if your dog's cooler than most of your friends. Meet Kyle. Tommy Tough Knuckles Vasquez, a TikTok clown who thought dumping beans on his head would get him famous. Spoiler, it did not, but also got him arrested. Turns out after all the food stunts, cops found him using strangers' bathrooms and just completely destroying them, like full-on sabotage. And now, facing multiple charges, and honestly, I hope the jail cell smells like baked beans. That's what we call karma. A guy robbed a convenience store in Tennessee, masked up and stormed in, took the cash. Textbook robbery, you know? But then he left behind his wallet. Full ID, driver's license, probably a Blockbuster card. The cops literally walked over to his house and said, "Hey, remember us? Yeah, so if you're gonna commit a felony, maybe don't leave your name and address like it's a holiday card." So Meghan Markle asked Dolly Parton to be on her Netflix show, and Dolly's camp basically said, "Yeah, no, we're good." They thought Meghan just wanted to use Dolly's name for clout and apparently didn't want to risk tarnishing Dolly's sparkle by throwing her into royal drama, you know? I mean, it's Dolly. She doesn't need your documentary or your Duchess energy. That woman has more goodwill than Girl Scout cookies. If Dolly's team is scared you're going to tank her image, maybe it's time to rethink your brand. George Romero gave us the zombie genre, and now his daughter Tina is keeping it alive. Well, kinda. Her new film is called Queens of the Dead, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A big zombie movie set during a drag rave in Brooklyn. The cast is stacked with drag icons, comedians, and even some zombie universe cameos. Oh, and Tom Cruise gave one actress the week off from Mission Impossible to do it. That's ally behavior. No release date yet, but when it drops, I'm throwing popcorn like a confetti cannon. Taylor Swift just got the rights back to her original albums, and fans went wild. Spotify streams of the old versions doubled in a day. Speak Now was up 430%. Even 1989, which already had its glow up, jumped up 110%. So if you're wondering who still listens to non-Taylor's versions of stuff, it's literally millions of people reliving the trauma with the raw, uncut originals, you know? Taylor's basically competing with herself and winning on both sides. Now, that's power right there. A 21-year Google Trend study figured out the most popular Pixar movie in each state, and Monsters, Inc. absolutely dominated. It was number one in 24 states. Finding Nemo came in second with 10 states, and The Incredibles followed with 9. Sorry, Toy Story. Guess we all had enough of that snake in our boots stuff. The moral of the story, America's favorite monster is a big blue teddy bear who screams for a living, which is kind of relatable. In China, there's a new trend where people pay $5 a day to go to an office and pretend they have a job. Yeah, these co-working spaces come with fake assignments, fake emails, even fake bosses. Need to impress the in-laws? Boom! Show them a dramatic reply from your pretend manager. It's part therapy, part theater, and totally bonkers. I mean, who knew the real gig economy was just faking it till you make it, or until someone hires you for real? A man who looks eerily like Elon Musk was swarmed in a Texas mall this weekend. People were stopping him for selfies, asking about Tesla stock, and one guy even yelled, "X is crashing!" thinking it was breaking news. It turns out, just a regular dude named Mike. He works in tech, doesn't even drive a Tesla, but he's now got a TikTok following, an invite to speak at a crypto panel, and a free pretzel from Auntie Anne's. So yeah, fake Elon got more attention than real Elon this week. Welcome to 2025. Over in Ohio, a woman called 911 from a Subway restaurant, not for robbery, not for a fight, but because her sandwich was too small. She told the dispatcher it was an emergency because the sub is criminally short. When police arrived, they found her still arguing with the employees, waving the sandwich around like it was evidence in a courtroom. Officials had to remind her that less than stuffed hoagie is not an emergency. Shocking, I know. She was cited for misuse of 911 and told to file a complaint the normal way. So to recap, real crimes going down across the city, but Karen's lettuce ratio was the priority. This happened in Michigan. A couple woke up to the sound of running water thinking maybe a pipe burst. Nah, it was a stranger in their house. A drunk, shirtless stranger trying to give her golden retriever a bath. When police arrived, the man was in the bathroom humming to himself while shampooing the dog. He told officers he thought it was his aunt's house and didn't understand why everyone was making a big deal. Spoiler, it's not his aunt's house. And that dog, now probably cleaner than anyone in the arrest photo. He's being charged with unlawful entry and public intoxication, and maybe gets credit for good hygiene. Well, if you had fun with this episode, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. But honestly, the best way to support the channel is drop a comment below. Whether it's your take on Taylor's takeover or the AI church prophecy, I want to hear it, all right? We're here every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, same time, same chaos. We'll see you next week at the Fire.